California Academy of Sciences with Renzo Piano. We still enjoy a great working relationship. And working with their team is always really a beautiful experience. And Renzo's known for his transparency and his light and architecture. The California Academy of Sciences had the goal of explaining and exploring the natural world. And they had some 10,000 organisms in the basement in catalogs. And I said, well, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could demonstrate biodiversity and sustainable design and make this as part of the exhibit, the building and the roofs? And Renzo asked me, Paul, can you retain 6 inches of growing media on a curvilinear slip plane in the climate of California? And of course I walked in and said, oh, yes, we can do that. And developed some interesting mock-ups, full-scale mock-ups and this has been a big part of our practice since we're often asked to do things that haven't been done before. We always put mock-ups into our program and into our design phases, and we learn so much, and the purpose of these mock-ups are really to look for all the ways they can fail. Mm-hmm. We're not interested in trying to skew these results so that the client can see what great work we do. We're looking for all the things that are left out and all the things that could fail. I tested 29 species of plants. I looked at all the interrelationships between those species and as host plants and insects. Renzo, thinking about amenity and thinking about beauty. I remember he said, Paul, you tell an interesting story, but it has to be beautiful. And I said, okay, well, that ended us with 4 species of plants. So, you know, my theory is about biodiversity, more resilient to what climate, to predatory insects and organisms, and more interstitial relationships, less weeds that can invade. Well, we ended up with 4 species on that, but since then, over the last 8 years, the Academy has planted well over 100 species of plants, and the research that's been done indicate there's 86% greater species abundance on the roof than on the ground plane in the park, and 36% of those species aren't found in the park. So somebody asked me, what good are these little sustainable ecologies within a 500 acre or 500 square mile area? And they're as good as what they're connected to. And this idea of connectivity and looking for adjacent ecologies is really very important to our work. We look at migratory species, we look at hydrology, we look at all those things that can enhance the productivity and the performance of these systems.